The regular meeting of the Denison City Council is now in session. This evening, our invocation will be given by Vicki Gaskin, Rise to Times Ministry.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. Let's just pray. Dear Lord, tonight we come, we want to honor you first and foremost. You are worthy of all honor and glory and power, and we acknowledge that you reign over all the earth. Lord, we thank you for blessing the city of Denison. You've prospered this city with longevity, with growth and communion through good times and bad. Thank you for each person here that has dedicated this time and season to serve. Tonight, I want to pray specifically for our council members that are stepping down from this place. Lord, I ask that you honor them as they've honored you and served Denison and our citizens. For the time that they've given, would you refresh and renew their strength? Would you fill them with satisfaction for the things that they've accomplished as they served? Let them know how appreciated and loved they really are. For the newly elected council member, Lord, I ask that you would be quick to supply with your good gifts of wisdom and knowledge and courage to lead by pursuing that which brings peace and edifies others. Let this season of transition and their learning curve pass quickly. Give them confidence as you lead them in your truth at all times, for there is joy in being led by you. Would you empower them with your grace to lead well as they serve? I pray for our mayor and the rest of our council that they would also continue to find joy in their service. And I pray for just balances and truth, honor and integrity to reign here. Help our entire governing body to find a place of unity, even in their diversity, that they might lead us well. I ask tonight for a special hedge of protection over those who serve Denison daily, whether they're elected, whether they're police officers, firefighters, or just our city employees. I pray tonight that they will know and understand just how much you love them and care for them. Lord, we ask for wisdom and grace tonight to make good decisions that benefit the whole of our community and not just a few. I pray your richest blessings on all of those who are here. In your precious Son's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This evening, we are honored to have with us Denison Police Officer Jorge Molina and Detective Tom Unifusser, who will lead us in our pledge. Gentlemen, when you're ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, gentlemen. Once a year, we have the opportunity to honor those officially who serve us on a daily basis as our police force. We are so grateful for the police force that keeps us safe, who is committed to our community, and who support our citizens on a daily basis. So if Chief Gudgel will meet me at the podium, I'd like to read a proclamation.
Y'all gonna get no tickets right now.
Chief, it is my honor to present this on behalf of myself and the entire City Council. Whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including the dedicated men and women of the Denison Police Department. And whereas it is well known and accepted that law enforcement is an inherently dangerous and demanding profession in which dedicated professionals knowingly place their lives in harm's way to protect others who are unable to protect themselves. And whereas the dedicated men and women of the Denison Police Department play an essential role in providing a secure environment for all those who live, work, trade, and visit the city of Denison, protecting life and property, enforcing the law, and assisting victims. And whereas since the first recorded death in 1786, more than 23,785 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and been killed in the line of duty. And the names of these dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas May 15th is designated as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of all fallen officers and their families, and U.S. flags should be flown at half-staff. Now, therefore, I, Janet Gott, as mayor, and on behalf of the entire City Council, urge all citizens to reflect upon the selfless dedication and bravery of our men and women of the Denison Police Department and their devotion to maintaining peace and security in our community, and do hereby proclaim May 15th through 21st, 2023 as National Police Week, and publicly salute the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in communities across our entire nation. Signed, Janet Gott, Mayor, the City of Denison. Sir,
Thank you, Mayor.
thank you so much for your service
Thank you.
and for all of the...
Y'all give me a touch.
If you can't see me, I can't see you.
There's some of them that want it that way, I promise. Just real quick, I want to thank everybody for their support. Obviously, Mayor, for yours, council, outgoing council, thank you for all the support since I've been here. We appreciate it. Incoming, hopefully we'll have your support as well. So we appreciate this community so much, and we really feel like we have a family here at our police department, and it's all about community. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
So amongst other things that we have to do tonight, this one is bittersweet. You know, when people are elected to serve on the council and they voluntarily give their time and their energies to help make our community a better place, what you hear us say is help make our city the community of choice. Tonight we have 2 council members who have turned out. Yes, we have term limits. You can serve 2 3-year terms as a council member. So I am going to ask Councilmember Spiegel and Councilmember Doty to join me down here, and I have a presentation. Gentlemen, I have served with you for the last, well, Chris, I've lost count of the number of years. I'm not sure how many it is. I know for sure it's 6 years with you, JC. You both have always been committed to this community and the improvement, the quality of life, and all of those things that we've all together as Team Denison worked so hard to achieve. You've always been prepared, engaged, and you know, the citizens of Denison couldn't ask for more than that. So Each of you has a plaque. I'll just read one of them. This is presented in grateful appreciation for your years of dedicated and diligent service to the residents of Denison as a member of the City Council of the City of Denison. Chris, yours was from 2017 to 2023. And JC, 2017 to 2023. So, gentlemen, you are going to be missed. Now, you have to stay around a little while until after the runoff, so we know who's going to sit in your seat. But both of you, thank you so very much for all that you've done for our community over the last 6 years. Councilmember Spiegel wanted me to assure you that he had a bonus year, so he served 7 years, not 6. I don't know why that says only 7.
You know, 7 years and 30 days.
Let's set the record straight and make sure he gets credit for all the years he served. Because they take 2 or 3 years off your life, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
At this point in every meeting, we set aside time for citizens to speak on any posted agenda item, any posted action agenda item. In order to speak, you must fill out a request to speak card and turn it in to the city clerk prior to reaching this point in the agenda. We have one request to speak card, Shula Netzer, 950 Dallas Parkway. Shula, do you want to speak now, or do you want to wait until the item comes up on the agenda?
I can speak now before,
Okay, all right. Just state your name and address for the record, please, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and everyone. My name is Shula Netzer, 16950 Dallas Parkway, Dallas. I represent and manage a GUM Venture Ltd., which is about 750 acres adjacent to Preston Harbor. We are very excited about the city of Denison and the Preston Harbor project. Although we're currently not in the city, we're in the ETJ, we look forward to working with the city in anticipation of a GUM truck being annexed into the city and developed. I've known David Craig and Bob Broder over 40 years, and I'm sure it'll be a very successful project. We hope to be soon in the city of Denison and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is the only card we received, therefore there'll be no further public comments. Item 4, consent agenda.
Mayor, I move to approve consent agenda items A, B, C, and D.
There is a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Crawley and a second by Councilmember Thorne. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 5A, receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on the Preston Harbor 2023 development agreement between the City of Denison, Waterfall Development Partners, LP, Preston Harbor LP, and Preston Harbor Home Place LP, and authorize the interim city manager to execute the same. We were having a conversation out in the hallway prior to the council meeting beginning. Sometimes things appear to happen very, very quickly. And that probably on the outside is what people will think about the presentation that we're going to have tonight. But in fact, what is taking place tonight has been 20 years in the making. So it is my pleasure to present Mr. David Craig to present this agenda item this evening.
I didn't realize it was going to be that quick. And it really hasn't been, because we've been working with the city for the last 24 months. A lot of things have happened. I'd like to say, do I need to say my name and address? David
That
Craig,
would be very
6850
nice.
TPC Drive, Suite 104, McKinney, Texas, 75070. Members of council, Mayor Gott, thank you for letting me present tonight the vision for the future of Preston Harbor. I'd first like to thank personally Mayor Gott, Interim City Manager Bobby Atterbury, Assistant City Manager Renee Wagner, City Attorney Julie Fort, President of Denison Development Alliance Tony Kai, and Kelly Canal with Schuler Development, with the Schuler Development Company, and many others that have led to this very special night in this presentation. We worked diligently, as I have said, to get this meeting tonight for the last 2 years. And we're proud to present. I'd be remiss, though, if I didn't say a few words about George Schuler. Preston Harbor, and it's going to be a little bit difficult. George was a dear, dear friend for 40 years, and a man of integrity, and he had a vision, and in my mind, this is his legacy. I closed my first parcel on what would be known as my legacy, or at least the first one, at Craig Ranch, September the 21st of 2000. My first acquisition was 1,125 acres, and I grew it to 2,200 acres. And it's now about $5 billion of ad valorem value, not taking business personal property tax into account, or hot tax, or sales tax. George started acquiring the land, which is known as Preston Harbor, at the same time. He did all the heavy lifting with the help of the city of Denison and others, and grew the property to 3,114 acres. George, and as I said, being friends for so long, I was 27 years old when I met George, and he was just 38. George had been in the hospital leading up to his passing for 6 months. An example of the kind of guy George was is when my father passed February 17th, George called me from his hospital bed, comforting me for 30 to 40 minutes. At the time, he had a trach in his throat. But what we talked about was family. What we talked about is God. And what we talked about is his vision. We signed the contract before he passed away, and he passed on April the 12th. George was a man of integrity, character. I was fortunate to have him as a friend. As I've said, George was a man of vision, and he trusted that I, along with my team, would complete his vision, and I intend to do just that, together with the city of Denison. At this time, I would like to give you, kind of tell you who the team is. We have an experienced group of can we get the PowerPoint on? I'm sorry.
And then go to the, yeah, let me see if I can go to the right. No, how about the one on the left? No?
John, can you help?
It is on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The one on the right.
It should be that one, yes, sir.
There you
There we
go.
go. I'm much more handsome now. Just want to say that. It must be my new haircut. We've got an experienced group of master plan community developers and hospitality experience involved in Preston Harbor. Myself, I'm going on 43 years of doing this, and I founded my company in McKinney in 1981. And of course, our largest project is a project called Craig Ranch. Started with 1,125 acres and grew it to 2,200 acres. And we just hosted the Byron Nelson, and I will tell you it was extremely successful. I would encourage all of you to come next year. We had a great time. We brought the party back to the tournament, and that's what it needed. I've owned and controlled or developed probably 10, 15,000 acres in Collin and Grayson County over the years. And so I'm very familiar with the landscape. Some of my latest projects have been District 121, which is at Elm and 121 there in McKinney, a mixed-use $250 million development in McKinney. Piper Glen, it's another office complex and condos. And Miles, thank you for writing all this. You did a good job. As well as chairing the host committee for the TPC Craig Ranch, AT&T Byron Nelson. I was fortunate to be able to lead the charge, if you will, to bring the PGA Tour and the Byron Nelson to TPC Craig Ranch for Craig Ranch in the city of McKinney, and we're very proud of that. Our second partner is a good-looking guy on the bottom left, and he's doing a project right now. I can't announce that, so press, don't ask me. But we're doing a very large hospitality project to the south, and he's in New York buttoning up all the deal points. But this guy is a guy named Dave Johnson. Prior to co-founding Horizon Capital Partners, Dave served as the CEO for Aimbridge Hospitality, which managed or owned over 1,600 hotels and $10 billion in annual revenue with 65,000 employees. Dave will be a real asset to the hospitality plans for Preston Harbor, as well as the overall financing and capital stack. And I can assure you, we will be announcing and we will have a press conference with the mayor and council members, and we will announce a significant hospitality component in Preston Harbor. Miles Prestiman is another seasoned veteran of 35 years in the master plan community space. Prior to coming to Craig International as our COO, our Chief Operating Officer, and President of Development, Miles headed up Stonebridge Ranch's 6,500-acre development and led a DFW, which, and I think this is important, for 7 years as the highest single-family sales, and for 3 years was the top 15 in sales throughout the United States. So he's been there and done that. Our third partner is Nagesh Kamarsu, and he is not only a partner on the capital stack, but he's also an investor as well, and he's part of the GP as well. Prior to starting his family office, which is focused on real estate investments and alternative investment startup ventures, he was a business executive in the healthcare business. Nagesh was part of the Fundamental Group team credited with the successful creation and exit with ION, a group purchasing organization that was acquired by Amerisource Bergen Corporation, that's a New York Stock Exchange company. Nagesh has partnered in several projects with us already, and we've been quite successful, and adds a strong experience in raising capital to launch projects such as Preston Harbor. I can tell you that we do have our capital, and we do have an arrangement with the seller of the property, Schuler Development, and we are very excited about the future. I do have to say, before Miles, he's going to take you on this journey, which I hope you love it. I love it. I'm very excited about it. I hope everyone can appreciate that we are under NDAs. We're in final negotiations on a number of venues, but we move very quick. It took me 23 years to finish Craig Ranch, and I don't intend for this to take me 23 years. So we made sure we had all the users, what we call in real estate food groups, whether that's residential, detached, attached, whether that's marinas, whether that's hospitality, that we had them all in tow. And that's how you make a successful project. And we wouldn't come to you and want to partner with you unless it was going to be successful. So having said that, I'll bring Miles Prestiman, our Chief Operating Officer, up. And if you didn't know who Nagesh is, he's the one hiding behind these two graphics. stand up, I guess. There you go. Miles, take it away.
All right. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Members of the City Council, Mayor God, it's really a pleasure to be here tonight and go over this great opportunity. And we're certainly gonna be holding the mantra that Mayor God said, which is to be the community of choice. You can imagine a day planned out in Preston Harbor, which will include a golf ride to the marina for a cup of coffee, a morning fishing excursion, hiking, walking, and biking on the many trails throughout the community. The many natural and man-made amenities will create the ultimate lake living experience. Multiple layers of residential product will create a vibrant community that will have a town center at its hub. Preston Harbor is a very large project, so we decided to break it up into 3 planning areas, and I'd like to go through each of those with you tonight. Number 1 is characterized really by the resort on the very northern point of the project. This site is really unheralded, and it's unbelievable. It's 80 feet of distance between the lake and the top of the land where the resort will be. It'll have slips. It'll have 200 plus rooms. It'll have cottages that are adjacent to the resort. These cottages will be fee simple. They'll be able to be rented out and owned and brought back into the pool for the resort hotel. The group that we're working with now has had enormous success at this. Also, taking advantage of 9 miles of frontage on Lake Texoma, you will see along Lake Texoma's edge low-density single-family living with estate homes in the 1 acre to 1 to a quarter acre to 1 acre and greater along the west. And as you move from west to east, you'll see a little bit lower densities, and then you get east of the main north-south arterial, and you'll probably have medium density housing that will build out the rest of that planning area 1. Planning area 2 is the marina and town centers, retail and residential, will play an integral part in the development of Preston Harbor. The town center area will be characterized by a linear park that cascades down to a public dock, all integrated with Lake Gale, and include restaurants overlooking the lake and other retail opportunities, along with townhome and multifamily that will be layered into the overall design to create what life on the street engagement that creates a successful town center. We would expect to coordinate with the downtown Denison's many events with our town center events. The marina will be a launching point of countless fun days on Lake Texoma. With a ship store and possibly its own restaurant, this private and public marina will be a true asset to the city of Denison and Preston Harbor. Residential living in this area will be designed around the many interior lakes and vistas that are naturally part of the land and will include a variety of residential products. With abundant parking in the mixed-use or town center area, it is an ideal place for the public to drive to and start your day hiking and biking the many trail systems. This natural location for the trailheads will also provide the residents of Preston Harbor connectivity to walk, bike, ride, and take their golf cart to the town center, many restaurants, retail, community events that will be offered. If you look at the trail system, I just puts up some imagery really of some of the trails. We envision many different trail types. One will be very manicured all the way down to gravel that may traverse some of the areas that have higher topography. So you'll have a variety of different hike and bike systems that a golf cart can walk on, or that you might have to put your hiking shoes on and walk around. It's a tremendous tract of land, has unbelievable topography that I think we should take advantage of. The third area This community is really active adult community amenities and commercial neighborhood support. This community will feature a variety of single-family living opportunities that the 55-year and older demographic desires, from typical 50 to 60-foot lots to paired villa lots and clustered townhome lots. There is something for everyone. Many amenities will be located within this area, which again is targeting the lifestyle of the active adult resident. Also, also along the major thoroughfares connecting Preston Harbor to Denison and the surrounding area, commercial opportunities and growth of this sector will start to thrive with the added residents and demand for neighborhood and regional services. I wanted to show you a little bit about some of the product that we envision. And this product really is many different lot sizes. You know, the market has really changed over the last 5 to 10 years, going to a slightly smaller lot size, and some of it's driven by the economics of it with higher land pricing, higher construction, but it's also demand to be able to create more open space and those type of communities, and that's certainly what we anticipate here in Preston Harbor. Many of the product that you see here are 30, 40-foot product and 50-foot product that have very great elevations and will add to the overall community. All the way up to estate homes on the west side of the first area that we talked about overlooking Lake Texoma. We'll have many of those areas as well. Further, we'll have townhome and multifamily product that will be dotted throughout the community. Most of the townhome product you'll see in the town center. Some multifamily product will also be in the town center. And then we've got some town center some multifamily product that'll be on the very northern end and the very southern end. David mentioned that we are under an NDA with 3 groups right now we're negotiating with, which we are really excited about and can't wait to unveil. One is the premier active adult community. This company we are negotiating with right now is one of the best in the United States, have a great track record and bring the type of lifestyle that I think this community deserves. It's going to have all of the amenities that you can see in an active adult area. This is an actual plan of one of the town centers that they actually build for their community that you can see includes retail, restaurant, pickleball, tennis, pool, and the like. Very active adult and very targeted for that center. The second area is, of course, the resort on the very northern end of the property. You know, these pictures are examples, but they really hit to what I think the resort is going to look like. Because of that dynamic distance of 80 feet from the top to the lake level, you're really going to see vistas overlooking the lake that are going to be very, very dramatic. This picture, I think, is very apropos to really what you're going to see on the end of the lake. You can see that elevation difference between the lake. You'll have slips down at the water for day rentals that can come in, park their boat, go up and have lunch, and then go back out on the lake and in their boat. Also, we mentioned cottages. These cottages, their program has many fee simple cottages like these that you can purchase and you can put in the rental pool. It really is a great investment for many of the residents that only want to spend limited time up at the lake. Also, you look at the marina. So the marina we're dealing with right now is one of the top marinas in the country. They are very excited about being here. Right now, Lake Texoma has a very tired product of marinas, and this new marina will be state-of-the-art. You're going to be able to drive your golf cart out on the dock, unload your stuff into the boat, drive back and park it. It's going to be a very golf cart friendly community, and the marina will also reflect that. You can see they're looking at about 400 to 600 slips right now, and there may be even more than that. They did a bathymetric actually study of the little mineral arm cove there, and really was a topo study underwater, and it showed the gradients of where the slips can be without dredging or with some minimal dredging. So they've already done a lot of work in regard to that marina. So ending, we believe Preston Harbor will become the premier community in North Texas. The city of Denison, with its focus on the growth of downtown Denison's district, along with the commitment of much-needed utilities to the western half of the city, is going to play a vital part in the future of Denison for many generations to come. Thank you.
I did want to add one thing, that sitting over here to the, not all the way to the end, but we have our general counsel, both Bob Roeder and Randy Hullett, and I think it's pretty appropriate. They were with me in 2000 when I negotiated my partnership with the PGA Tour in Puerto Breeda, Florida at the Players Championship. I won't talk about when your phone went off, Bob. You're not supposed to have phone in a tournament. But they're here to answer any questions, Bobby, that you have, and I know you've worked hand in hand. Bobby's been great. Julie's been great. The whole staff has been great. It's been a great experience for us, but we become family, and that's what we're going to do here. So thank you so much for allowing us to present, and if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Are there questions from council for Mr. Craig?
Just excited we're here.
Yes, sir.
A lot of years. We appreciate you, David. Thank you.
Well, is it going to be a race to see who makes the motion?
Mayor, get a jump on him.
Okay. Mayor, I move to approve the Preston Harbor 2023 Development Agreement as presented and authorize the interim city manager to execute the same, subject to final legal review and approval.
Second.
There is a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Crawley and a second by Councilmember Spiegel. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Let the record reflect that the vote was unanimous. The motion is approved. I'm going to take a mayor's privilege, and I'm going to come down to the podium. Kevin, Kelly, we lived George's dream. We lived it vicariously for almost 20 years. Scripture tells us that there is awareness in heaven, and I am 100% confident that George is aware that we're nearly to the finish line. My last conversation with George was, Mayor, it's going to take your leadership and your team to get this across the finish line. I want to say thank you to Bob Roeder, Julie Fort, Bobby Atterbury, Renee Wagner, for all of their hard work in working through all of these details to get us to where we are tonight. Because without them working together, two teams working together as one, we would not be here tonight to do this. At George's memorial, David said to me, Mayor, we're going to make Denison proud. We're going to make George proud. And I believe, David, all of us working together are going to make George proud. And we are going to fundamentally change the city of Denison as you begin to develop Preston Harbor at Denison, Texas. So I would like your team to join me up here. I've got a presentation to make. When we saw you almost 2 years ago now, and we we had our first meeting about how we could together make this happen. We presented you with sesquicentennial pins because we were celebrating our 150th year as a community. Well, that 150 years is our past. And January the 1st, we started the next 150 years. And Preston Harbor is going to be part of our future. So I ask you to keep this pin as one of only 3,000 that were made. And I would like for you to wear this with pride as one of the soon-to-be newest members of the Denison community. David, what an incredible day. And I don't know that I've got it in me to pin all of you, so. We can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate each of you and how much we look forward to the future of our community with you. So, thank you so very much. I know there's still work to be done, but we're nearly over the finish line, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we couldn't be more excited. All right, moving on. We do have to finish the meeting. Item 6A, receive a report, hold a discussion, conduct a public hearing, and take action on an ordinance to rezone property legally described as being part of the James B. Shannon survey, abstract number 1085, and being a retracement survey of an addition to the city of Denison, Texas, as recorded in document number 2018-13342, Grayson County, Texas, GCAD property number 151425, also known as 2103 West Highway 691, from the local retail zoning district to the commercial zoning district to allow for commercial use, case number 2023-036Z. Ms. York.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. That was pretty awesome, and this is it's a tough act to follow. This is a rezone for the property located at 2103 West Highway 691. This is the aerial view of it, kind of at the corner of Texoma Parkway and FM 691. Just for reference, to the left is Twin Oaks Nursery. The current zoning is local retail, and the applicant is requesting a rezone to commercial in order to accommodate commercial uses, but specifically the use of pawn shop. They currently have operations of a pawn shop at 5022 Texoma Parkway, and they would like to move those operations to the subject property. According to our use regulation chart, a pawn shop is not a permitted use within the local retail zoning district, and therefore that's why they are requesting the commercial zoning district. This does comply with our future land use plan. The current the location presented calls for mixed commercial use, which this use is appropriate, as is the zoning. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of this request at their meeting on May 9th. Staff recommends approval as well. I'm present for any questions, and so is the applicant.
Questions for Ms. York? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak on behalf of this agenda item? There being none, the public hearing is closed. Discussion from council. A motion?
Mayor, I move to approve changing the zoning of the subject property from the local retail zoning district to the commercial zoning district.
Second.
There is a motion by Councilmember Hander and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Crawley. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Item 7A, receive a report, hold a discussion, and did I close the public hearing? Yes. Okay, good. Goodness.
I would have told
I'm
you if you
rattled.
didn't.
Receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on an ordinance canvassing the general election held in the city of Denison on May 6, 2023, for the purpose of electing council members to single-member District 3, Place 3, and Place 5 at large, and declaring the results of said election. Ms. Wallentine.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have 3 election items for you this evening. The first one will be to canvass the election. As you recall, February 6, 2023, the council ordered the general election to be held on May 6, 2023, for electing council members for single-member District 3 and Place 5 at large. Notice of the elections were published and posted by the city and the Grayson County Elections Administrator in accordance with state law. The election was duly and legally held on May 6th in the city between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and in conformity with the election laws of the state of Texas, and the results of the election, including the returns of the early ballots cast in connection therewith, tendered to the canvassing board. The results were as follows. Josh Massey received 294. He received 63.77% of the votes. Jason Parks, 167. And then Place 5, we don't have a declared winner because it requires 50%. So the 2, Aaron A.T. Thomas and Charles Poole, will need to face a runoff. So with that, staff recommends approval of the ordinance canvassing the general election.
Questions for Ms. Wallentine? A motion?
Mayor, I move to approve the ordinance canvassing the general election held in the city of Denison on May 6, 2023, for the purpose of electing council members to single-member District 3, Place 3, and Place 5 at large, and declaring the results of said election.
Second.
There is a motion by. Who seconded? I know you. There is a motion by Councilmember Doty and a second by Councilmember Spiegel. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Ms. Wallentine?
All right, now that you've canvassed the election, we now need to order a runoff so that we can declare a winner for Place 5. Pursuant to Section 3.04 of the city's charter, it requires a runoff if neither candidate or no candidate receives 50.01%. Since neither candidate did, the council shall order a runoff. So with that, staff recommends approval of the ordinance ordering the runoff.
Questions from council?
At least you didn't have to flip a coin.
Not yet.
That's right, not yet. Motion?
Mayor, I move to approve the ordinance ordering a runoff election for the purpose of electing a city council member for Place 5 at large to be held on Saturday, June 10th, 2023, as presented.
Second.
There is a motion by Councilmember Hander and a second by Councilmember Spiegel. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Item 3, receive a report, hold a discussion, administer oath of office, and deliver certificates of election to the newly elected officials of single-member District 3, and Place 3. Ms. Wallentine?
This one's pretty easy. Staff recommends administering the statement of officer and oath of office and delivering the certificate of election to Josh Massey as the winner for single-member District 3.
Is there a motion?
Mayor, I move to approve administering the statement of officer, oath of office, and delivering of certificate of election to the newly elected official for single-member District 3, Place 3.
Second.
There is a motion by Councilmember Spiegel and a second by Councilmember Thorne. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Before we administer the oath of office, could we recognize our friend here? I've completely and totally lost his name. Councilmember Doty. And Councilmember Spiegel. Let's recognize them. Although Councilmember Spiegel has to stay on until after the runoff. Let's recognize them for in Councilmember Spiegel's case, 7 years, and the 6 years that Councilmember Doty have served this city and this council. And we can't say enough about how much they have brought to the council and their commitment to make this a community of choice. So let's honor them, please. Okay.
I would like to say one thing.
All right.
Lived here my entire life. I've been on the council for 6 years. Had a big interest in the council and the city for all that time. And with these guys on the front row, I think they can attest to what I'm about to say, that we have the best staff in the state. No matter what issue I may have had in that 6-year period, I could contact one of them and it would get done in short term. I had so many of my people that lived in my district would call me back and say, they're already here. So I just want to say that we've got the best staff, the best leadership. The council's done a great job. I've been very proud to be a part of this group. Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like, even though I'm going to have one more opportunity, I just,
Oh, yes, Councilmember Spiegel, there was
bonus.
no doubt, ever.
I'm pretty excited about the bonus 30 days. But I just want to tell everybody else that's here, and I want to thank all of you all for being here, and you know, Kelly, all your hard work. It's hard to fathom how many years, I mean, the mayor pointed out how many years we've been working on this. Mayor Johnson, who was here earlier, you know, carried the torch for his 6 years when he was in office, and it's one of those things. I was so excited to be a part of those initial days when the Schuler development, you know, was. I wasn't at the start like Tony and some of our predecessors were, but at the same time got to see some monumental steps in this development, and to be here tonight, and for everybody for this to all come together on our official last meeting was really exciting, and I know that that you guys worked extra hard to do that, and it just means a lot, and to echo JC's comments about our staff is just incredible. I remember being in Mr. Massey's seat in the old City Hall and how nervous I was, and then you figure out how much you really don't know when you get seated up here, and it's been a great learning curve, and the support of our citizens, support of our staff is just really an honor to serve y'all, and I appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
All right,
Okay.
if I could please
Ready
call
to-
Councilmember Massey up front. We'll get you sworn in. I'll have you turn and face everybody. And if
You're official until he's sworn in.
you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joshua Massey, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office as a council member for the city of Denison, Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. Congratulations. Oh, yeah, I've done it a few times. So, we'll have you take a place up on the dais for your certificate of election.
A little too fast for me.
Yeah, there you go. And if you go ahead and have a seat up here.
Welcome aboard. Pursuant to Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, the council reserves the right to convene in executive sessions from time to time as deemed necessary during this meeting to receive legal advice from its attorney on any posted agenda item as permitted by law, or to discuss the following: consult with attorney on a matter in which the attorney's duty to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct conflicts with this chapter, and/or consult with attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or contemplated settlement of the same, section 551.071. Confer with city attorney regarding city-owned property. Confer with city attorney regarding 1527 South Austin Avenue and 2824 West Crawford Street. Discuss the possible purchase, exchange, lease, or sale value of real property. Public discussion of such would not be in the best interest of the city's bargaining position. Section 551.072, city-owned property. The time is 6:57, and the council is now in executive session.